Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Christmas edition. Hopefully, you can hear this lovely Christmas festive music. Should we do a sound check and then we'll make a start? Taking a little while. Bear with me. Here we go. Bit like lift music, isn't it? Here we go. You can hear me. Right. I'm going to have to turn that down. I think and talk. Right. Good morning, everybody. How are we this lovely Friday morning? How strange that I'm doing a live lesson on a Friday morning. I'm going to have to turn this off. Very distracting. So welcome to our festive Christmas special. One of three. So we did our Christmas painting on Tuesday. Today we are doing making a Christmas card. And on Monday we're going to be doing some Christmas coding. So make sure you sign up for that. Bit of a shameless plug. Make sure you sign up for that if you haven't already, Christmas coding. But this is probably the best one. I'm very excited. So who would like to see what we're going to make today? Let's have a little look-see, shall we? We are going to be making a Christmas card using JIT Mix. So this is what we're going to be doing. Go. So we've got our lovely festive Christmas scene here. So we're going to use a JIT Mix paint page. Here we go. And then we're going to add the inside. So we're going to address our Christmas card. We're going to write a festive message and we're going to sign it with our names. And we might even possibly be able to add in some sound if we get time. We'll see. We'll see how we get on. I hope you like my lovely festive hat that I've got going on today. I did have some reindeer ears and a reindeer nose, but it was hurting my nose, so sorry. Do with the Christmas hat instead. Right. First of all, shout out. So who have we got lurking in the background here? These weren't working very well this morning. Oh, here we go. So we've got Mrs. Best's P3 class at Dundonald Primary School. Hello and welcome to you guys. We have Mrs. McGrath's P3-4 class at St. Niles Primary. So hello and welcome to you. Who else have we got around here? Here we go. P6-7 class at Landhead Primary School. I did have one here. Miss McKinn's LSC3 class at St. Malachy's Primary in Castlewellan. Hello and welcome to all of you guys. Who else have we got? We've got Lisbon Central Primary School. Hello and welcome to you. We've got P4 at Edenderry Primary School in Portadown. Hello and welcome to you guys. And Miss McEwen's P5 class at Spires Integrated Primary School. So hello and welcome to all of you that are joining us. I can see we've got about 25 classes online. So hello and welcome to all of you. So let's have a little think, shall we, about Christmas cards. No, let's not. Let's have a think about what we're going to learn to do today. I was getting ahead of myself. So we are learning to find and load JIT Mix. So we haven't used this very much this term, but we're going to have a look at finding and loading it, and I'm going to explain how JIT Mix works. We're going to add in a festive background. So we're going to add in a couple of pages. We're going to add in a festive background, and we're going to combine drawing, text, and audio to create a digital Christmas card and follow steps to create a Christmas scene. And then we're going to save and share our work. So teachers, at the very end of the session, I am going to do a little bit that is very much focused on how you can share this content with parents in the easiest way. So hang around for that bit or come back to the recording once the children have sort of created their Christmas cards and you're ready to share. So we're going to do things like sharing to the journal if you're using J2 Journal, and we're also going to do QR codes. You can generate a QR code, print that off, and then the parents can scan it at home. Okay, right. So what do Christmas cards look like? So we've got two parts to a Christmas card. So have a think about if you're writing Christmas cards at home or if you've received Christmas cards. They're very much like other cards. So like your birthday card, christening card, birth cards, uh, get well soon cards. Okay, we always have a front cover and we have an inside. So we have a message on the inside. So let's have a little think about the cover. You see, this is our Christmas card. So this was made by a very, very clever child. I cannot remember. I think it was Isaac. I can't remember what Isaac's school was. How silly. Um, but this is our company credit card. Our company Christmas card that was made in our Christmas card competition. So very well done. And that is being sent out digitally to all of our contacts. Okay, so we've got a lovely Merry Christmas on the front. We've got some images, some hand-drawn images, some circles. We've got a snowman and a Christmas tree. On this one, we've got some nice festive lights. And on this one, we've got Rudolph, the reindeer. And they all say Happy Christmas on them. Merry Christmas. We've got some nice visual images, so some nice pictures to look at. And then on the inside, we've got a nice message. So this one says, have a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year with love from Penny and Glyn. Whoever Penny and Glyn are. I copy this off the internet. And this one says, with best wishes for Christmas and the new year. So we're going to write something on the inside of our card. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our festive picture on the front cover, which is probably the most exciting bit. So who would like to make a Christmas card with me this morning? Hopefully you've all got your hands up. I can't see. I'm going to trust that you have. And this is the Christmas card that I'm going to make. Now, what I will say, teachers, it's entirely up to you, so you can direct your students. They can follow along step by step and create the same picture as me. Or once we've created that paint picture, if you want to, you can let them create their own festive picture, however they want that to look. So it's up to you. So you can pause the session and then you can fast forward up to where we're sort of adding the next page for the writing, if that's something that you want to do. Entirely up to you. So the first thing we need to do, children, is we need to find JIT. Teachers, if this is the first live lesson that you've done with me, as I've just said, you can pause the session at any time. That's why we deliver through YouTube, because it allows you to pause and then press play and carry on once you have pressed pause. Okay, so you can pause if the children need a little bit more time to follow certain steps. Just press the pause. So I am assuming that you are logged in, ready to go, children. So can you find JIT on your Launchpad? It is this one here. JIT has this lovely yellow tile. And we're going to click on that. And you'll know, hopefully, that JIT always opens up into Write. Now, we used Write yesterday. We're not going to use Write today. We're going to use Mix. So Mix is all the way up over here, top corner, up here. It's this little, it looks black on my screen, but it's technically grey. Okay, so we're going to go for the grey tab here. And you'll know that you're in the right place because you'll have a grey screen. So if your screen is a different colour, you're not in the right tool. So I want you to click where it says Mix and you'll have a nice grey screen. Now Mix works slightly differently to the other tools, okay? In that you have to choose a page layout and then you choose a tool. So on the front cover of our card, we're going to be drawing. So we are going to be using a paint page, but we don't want any other writing on our page. So what we're going to do, I want you to click on this box here. Can you see this big blue box on the left-hand side? I want you to click and you'll know that you've clicked because it'll have a red box around the outside. And then you're going to hit the tick. Okay, so click on here and tick and make sure it's blue. Okay, and then hit tick. And there we go. Okay. So teachers, I'm talking to you. If you do want to allow children to just create their own card however they want, press pause now and allow them to do that, and they can draw from scratch. If you want to follow along, then don't press pause. So what we can do is we're going to add in a background. Okay, so you know in Paint and Animate and all the other JIT tools, in fact, we can choose a template or a background. So in JIT Mix, it's slightly different. So can you see up here, we've got the word mix at the top, and underneath it, I'm going to zoom in. You don't need to. I'm just zooming in so you can see really clearly. We're going to look for this button here, this little asterisk. Can you see it's a little green star in a red circle? We're going to click on that, and that is going to bring up our backgrounds. Okay. Now, we can use this little scroller here and we can scroll through the backgrounds. Now, I'm going to use the wood background and we're going to edit it slightly. But, especially if you're working with younger children, if we scroll all the way down, there's also our Christmas and our nativity backgrounds. So they are there ready to go should you need it. Okay, but we're going to do a little bit of editing here. So we're going to go to the wood background. I'm going to click on that, and that is going to add that onto our Christmas card. So that is our front page. Does that look wintry? Does it look like winter time? Does it look festive? Does it look Christmassy? So we can change our background. Now to do that, we are going to use the fill tool. So we're not going to change too much. So the fill tool is this button here. Can you see with a little paint pot? That is fill. Hello, fill. We're going to click on fill. And you'll know that you clicked on fill because it'll be green and it'll be bigger than this one. Well, it's already green. But can you see? It's bigger than my paintbrush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose white. So we're going to add some snow into our picture. So I'm going to add white. Now, I'm just going to add it into these dark green bits of grass. You could add it all over if you wanted to. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on these dark green bits of grass. So because I'm using a mouse, I can hover over my picture and I can see where I'm going to paint. Now, a lot of you are probably using iPads or touchscreen devices. So all you're going to do is you're just going to press on the dark bits of grass, okay? Now, if you go wrong and if you press somewhere and you think, oh, I don't like how that looks, don't worry. Can you see this little curvy arrow up here? Again, I'm going to zoom in so you can see. That is my undo button, okay? So this one here. So you can press that and that will take away the last thing that you've done. Okay? So, because sometimes with the iPads, especially when it's a bit smaller, when it's a bit fiddly, it can be difficult to press on the exact space that you want. So your undo button will help with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on all the dark bits of grass. And we're just going to fill them all in. Don't forget these little fiddly bits behind the tree. Down here in front of this bits of grass. Losing my headset now. Too many things in my head. There we go. Okay. And it can be really fiddly, so don't worry if you don't get all of these little fiddly bits here. Okay. Now you can fill these big green bits in if you wanted to make it all snowy. In fact, actually, that looks quite nice, doesn't it? Yes, I think I'm going to keep that. I wasn't going to, but I think I'm going to keep it. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to use a few textures as well. So we're still going to keep the fill tool, We're going to use our texture tool. So our texture tool is down here. Okay. Again, I'm zooming in, you don't need to. And we're going to click on this little button here, so this little roller button. And that is going to bring up my different textures. So there's a few textures that I would like to use in my picture. I'm going to use the bark for the trees. And I think I'm going to use this kind of water effect. I'm going to use that for the sky, I think. Just because I like how it looks. And I might use the brickwork for the path as well. Okay, but have a look at the textures, see what you think you want to use in your picture. So I'm going to choose the bark, and I can make that pattern a bit smaller if I wanted to. And then I'm just going to click in my tree and add in that texture. So easy peasy, just click fill. Okay, oh, there's a little sneaky bit down there. And then I'm going to open my texture tool again, and I'm going to choose a different texture. So I'm going to go for my blue. Go. Add that onto my sky. Now this can be a bit fiddly because can you see these little bits in between the trees? Sometimes they need filling in, and sometimes you can click the wrong button. So we're going to click undo, and that will take that away. I might need to leave that little bit there, a bit too small to fill in. Yeah, and don't forget these bits here, and there we go. So it looks kind of like a moody night sky, doesn't it? And then lastly, I'm going to add in that brickwork on my path. So I've got 3 different brickworks to choose from. I think I might go for the brick path. A bit smaller. There we go. I'm just going to fill that in. A nice brick path. Ooh, look, I've missed a little bit of green down here. Go. So there is my background. So teachers, I am going to move on to adding clip art and drawing images. You can pause the session if they need a little bit more time to edit their background. Okay, children, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add in some images onto our background. So luckily, Christmas is already our default clip art. So we can use these buttons here, and we can scroll through some of these images, and you can add whatever it is that you want onto your image. Now I'm going to keep clicking, I'm going to click quite fast because I want to choose a house first, because I'm going to make mine a festive house, and the houses are right at the end. So there's a few houses to choose from. I think there is one with some nice, there we go, that one, that is the one that I'm going to choose. Okay, now I'm going to make it face the other way, so I want to flip it. If you've been on a live lesson with me, can you remember which button is the flip button? The flip. Well done. Hopefully you said this button here. So that button will flip it. So can you see it's now facing the other way? And I need to make it bigger. So which button do I press to make it bigger? Hopefully you said the plus button up here. So we're going to make it big, 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 big. And then at the moment, I'm still with my fill tool. So what I need to do is I need to click on this picture and have a look at the picture, okay? And when I click on it, it's going to have a little bit of a glow that sort of appears. So if I click, can you see that's got that glow around it? So that's showing me that I have selected that clip art and I'm ready to stamp onto my page. So again, if you're using a mouse, you can kind of hover it and see where it looks best. If you've got an iPad or a touch screen, you might need to stamp it on the page, see if it looks okay, and then you can use the undo tool or the undo button if you want to reposition it. So I'm going to pop that about there. So at the end of my path or path. Okay. And then I'm going to press this little button. You might not be able to see it, but can you see the top corner of my house? That is our reset button. So that is a reset for our clip art. So it just makes that clip art a little bit more manageable, not take up half your page. And then we're going to scroll through and I'm going to find some more things. I might put Santa flying through the sky, so I'm going to make him a bit smaller. So I'm going to press this minus button and I'm going to stamp him in the sky. You might want to have him on the roof or on the snow. I'm going to put some Christmas trees out. I'm not going to have Santa because Santa is flying through the sky. I might have some elves. So I'm going to pop some elves. I'm going to make them very small elves. I have them hiding in the trees next to the Christmas tree. There we go. And a snowman, of course. I'm going to put my snowman down here. Gingerbread man, anybody? Festive owl. Not quite sure about the festive owl. We'll pop him up here. There we go. Reindeers. Lots of reindeers. Lots and lots of reindeers. Some holly. So I'm going to add this onto my house. So I think I'm going to add some holly going all the way across. And I might add some holly into my foliage at the front. There we go. And I might add a little bell on the top of my door. So you can add whatever it is you want into your picture. Okay. Now, teachers, if you're working with older children, you can also search for images as well. So we can click where it says Christmas and this little globe button here, we can search for things. So I might look for Christmas lights, for example. Here we go. And I can click on these. And wait 3 to 5 business days, clearly. I feel like I should have some hold music in the background. There we go. Okay. Got there eventually. And we can make these much smaller. And I might put these on these trees in the background like this. And I can rotate them. So you can look for whatever festive word you want to. So it could be a Christmas pudding. It could be you want a different Santa. It could be the North Pole. Here we go. Sorry, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. There we go. It could be a star. It could be a Christmas tree. So you can search for whatever you want. But for younger children, that might not. Okay. So there we go. We have created the front cover to our Christmas card. So teachers, if they need a little bit more time to finish off their wonderful Christmas card, press pause. But we are going to move on to adding the next page, so the inside cover. So what we're going to do, children, is we're going to go up here. Can you see where it says pages? And we've got this green plus. So I'm just going to zoom in. Okay, green plus here. I want you to press that. And this box will pop up again. Now this time we're going to use a write page. We just want writing. We don't want anything else. So we're going to click on this page and then wait. What we need to do is we need to use these arrows because we need a write page. So this at the moment is a paint page. Can you see that it's blue? So I want you to use the left arrow one time. And you should have this lovely kind of greeny, yellowy colour with ABC ... So if you get other colours, don't worry, just keep clicking on the arrow until you get to the ABC. So just ABC, so this page here. Okay, and then you're going to hit tick. Now this is where we can write our message. So we can click here and we're going to address this to someone. So we're going to address this maybe to a loved one. Maybe it's a grown-up in your life or grown-ups. Maybe it's a friend. So we're going to say to, and then we're going to use our space bar. So I'm going to say to my family, because there's lots of them. It'll be a bit tricky to write them all out. So you can write their names if you want to. You could write to your mom, dad, or your grandma, or your stepdad, whoever it is that you want, or your carer, or your best friend, or your teacher. That'd be nice. Okay, and then we're going to use our enter button. So we put to and then whoever we're addressing it to. And we're going to use our enter button a few times. I want you to kind of be in the middle of the screen. So can you see my cursor here? Yeah. We're going to hit enter a few times. And then we want to center the text in the middle of the page. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the space bar, which is that big long button at the bottom of your keyboard. So this one here. Okay. We're going to use that a few times until we kind of off center. And then we're going to write a festive message. It's entirely up to you what you want to say. You might want to say, have a lovely festive season. You might want to say, Merry Christmas. You might not celebrate Christmas, so you might just want to say, Happy middle of winter. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever it is that you celebrate. Okay, so we're going to say, I'm going to say Merry. Nope, that's never been how we spell Merry. Merry Christmas. In fact, I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm going to go say, wishing you a very, and I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to use my space bar. So there we go. Where I'm wishing you a very Merry Christmas. And you could make that better. You could say, and a very Happy New Year, or I hope you get all the presents that you want, or I don't know. Whatever message it is you want to write. And then we're going to use our enter button again. So enter, enter, enter. And at the bottom of the page, we're going to use our space bar again because we want to put it in the middle. We're going to sign it off. We're going to say from, and then you're going to write your name. I'm going to write my name. Don't you write from Miss Kimball. And then if we've spaced it too far to the right, you can click over here and you can delete until it's in the middle. You can use your delete and your space bar just to center it. If you're working with the youngest children, teachers, they don't have to use the space bar. They can just have it all aligned to the left if they want to. Okay. Then last few things. We can change things like the text color. So you can make it nice and red, purple, yellow. I'm going to go with dark purple, I think. It's my favorite color. And you can also change the font. Probably should have done that before I lined the text, really. Okay, I'm going to keep mine comic. There we go. So that is our Christmas message. Now, the last thing we can do, teachers, this might be something that you want them to do after the lesson, one by one. I'm going to show you how to do it, but sound is very difficult, especially when you're in a busy classroom. So this is often something that is much better if maybe you keep a couple of them in to record at lunchtime, for example, or if you've got quiet spaces or breakout spaces, or into the corridor where they can just record and then come back in, that will make the card much better quality. Having them all record, all 30 of them at once. I am speaking from experience. Okay, so up here we have our record button. So this is for recording sound, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press that, and then we've got our little record button. And in fact, I'm going to move my little record button just out of the way so I can read out my Christmas message. And I'm going to practice this. So I'm going to say, to my family, wishing you a very Merry Christmas from Miss Kimball. So I'll practice that a few times so I can say it quite well. Because what you don't want when you're recording is to go, to my fam. So you need to be quite fluent with this before you hit record. Okay, so practice it quite a few times. And then when you're ready, you're going to hit record and you're going to record your sound. So watch me. To my family, wishing you a very Merry Christmas from Miss Kimball. I mean, my family don't call me Miss Kimball, but you can listen back to that by hitting play. Okay, and when you're happy with it, you can click OK, and that is going to save onto that page. So that is how we can record some sound. Okay, now, children, what is the last thing that we need to do before we close our devices down? So we've finished our card. What do we need to do? Technically, we should rename our file. So we're going to click up here where it says mix in this box, and we're going to type something that makes it clear that it is our Christmas card. So that just could be card. It could be my Christmas card. You're going to name the file, and then you're going to click on the save button, which is over here. It's orange. This is a floppy disk, children. I'm not going to talk about floppy disk. It's just ironic that you don't know what it is. We're going to click that save button. We're going to get our savey circle. And then our little ghost save button. So when your ghost save button appears, you know that that has saved. Okay. Right. Teachers, I'm just going to do a little 2 minutes on how we can save, how we can share our cards with families as easily as possible. Okay. So if you want to, you can stop the session here and then come back to this recording for when you are ready to share with families, or you can watch it with your class and get them to follow along. So first of all, we have a tool called J2 Journal, which if you're using the parent portal, J2 Journal will be linked up. And the children themselves, once they finish their card, can press this and that will publish to the journal. Okay, then you as a teacher, you just need to go in and moderate those. Once they're moderated, the parents will be able to see those. It is a really fantastic tool. If you're not using J2 Journal, you can contact me and I will be more than happy to showcase that to you. Or we have some information on it on our YouTube channel. Okay, it is a brilliant tool, especially for parental communication. Then the other thing that we can do, teachers, we can go to My Files, and you can go to the pupil files and find the file that you want to share. Okay, I'm going to do it with my Christmas card that I've just created. Okay, the principle is the same. You would go to pupil files, find the Christmas card. You would go to the green eye up here, and then you've got this button that says QR code. So you're going to click on that. Technically it'll be view only. Now, if you want parents to be able to see this, you have to tick this box that says have to, otherwise it won't work. Okay. Now that is a scannable QR code, so you can print this out. We do have, this is the print button here, so you can print that out. And that then can be scanned using a device. So I've got my camera here, so I'm going to scan it, and that should show my lovely Christmas card. So So that is ready for parents to view, and they can view each page and they can listen to any audio that's recorded. So that is probably the easiest way if you're not using J2 Journal. Okay. So hopefully that is helpful. If it's not, if you're struggling, you can book an appointment with us in the teachers area. Okay. And I will help you through it. So, children, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that you've got some lovely Christmas cards. I'm sure you do have some lovely Christmas cards. Teachers, if you are sharing these on social media, please be sure to tag us. I love to see what the children are creating. It is fabulous. And I would especially love to see these Christmas cards, because I can imagine they've done some fantastic work this. So we have only one more live lesson this year. My goodness, that's a bit sad to say, which is on Monday. So that is our Christmas coding. So you can book that through the teachers area in the What's On, the book on that if you want to join us. If this is the last live lesson that you're doing with me, then I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful New Year. And I will see you in January for some more